Well, as you know, it's been Quake Week all week. We've been doing special reports all week about the possibility of a major earthquake in Oregon. And joining me as our last guest this week is Carmen Merlo. She's the director of the Portland Bureau of Emergency Management. Thank you for joining us and being a part of this. Now, the most likely scenario, as we've talked about all week, is a subduction zone earthquake that will be off the coast of Oregon. Now, what would happen to us inland here in Portland if that happens?
Yeah, we expect to have widespread damage throughout the city. We expect buildings to be damaged, water main breaks, sewer lines damaged, and certainly our road and bridge infrastructure to be very badly damaged as well.
How do we prepare for that?
Well, start with your home family kit. We want you to have an emergency cache of supplies, water, food, first aid kit. Make sure that your house is bolted to the foundation. Most homes that were built prior to 1994 aren't, and that means that after heavy ground shaking, your home may not be safe to reoccupy. Know how you would communicate with each other if the cell service was down, and try to find a way to get around town without fuel.
What would be your role?
My bureau is a coordination bureau, and so we would coordinate the emergency response and recovery efforts, and so we would make sure that we provide disaster declarations to the governor, that we would bring in state and federal assets, provide information to the public, and certainly find ways to house all those people that are going to be displaced.
Now, you also have a person who does this on the state level as well, correct?
Absolutely.
So how well do you work with them?
We work very closely with each other. The state obviously is where we have to declare the disaster to the governor's office. We do very regular trainings and exercises with our state and county partners.
How does that look? What do you do in your training exercises to prepare for something like this? Because you can't recreate an earthquake. Really.
That's right. We do something called a tabletop exercise where we actually have a scenario planned out and we actually walk through the various roles and responsibilities for each party. And we do a lot of disaster planning, and so we come up with various possible scenarios and kind of walk through what that would look like.
In your mind, is this likely to happen?
Absolutely. It could happen tomorrow or it could happen in 300 years, and that's the problem. There's just no way to know when it will happen, so the time to get ready is now.
All right. Well, thank you, Carmen. I appreciate you being here.
My pleasure. Thank you.
And we'll send it back to you.
All right, thank you, Ken. And we're not done with Quake Week just yet. Be sure to join us on KOIN 6 News at 4 o'clock. We'll be joined by the Oregon State geologist whose interview in the New Yorker set off nationwide panic about the big one. And you'll have a chance to ask Dr. Chris Goldfinger your questions live on the KOIN 6 Facebook page. Then on KOIN 6 News at 6, we wrap up the week with a look at what it will take to survive after the quake. It may be weeks before help arrives. We will detail exactly what you need to have on hand. And stay with us. We're following breaking